What's happening, Lightsaber Radio family, my Star Wars enthusiasts? We are back today to talk about a topic that has been disputed, debated, and there's no real evidence of any partial that I could find that Stormtroopers just can't hit shit. They can't. They just suck. They just can't hit shit. 5 feet away, they fucking miss. And I think they all need to get some rehab and some real training. But today we're going to discuss
rehab. Why. What the fuck, rehab?
Yeah, rehab, because you know
they're all high. That's why they keep missing.
you know they got to go through something because they're like, dude, I can't hit nothing, man. I'm gonna get fired. Oh my God! They're like, no, don't worry about it. They're like, oh my God, this is so bad. You know they got to be having some type of fucking depression, something going on if you always missing. But before we get into today's topic, we're going to drop that intro video, and then we're going to get into a Icebreaker, and then we'll discuss why the Stormtroopers just can't hit shit. So let's do it.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
At last we will reveal ourselves.
Oh, I have a bad feeling about this.
You are now tuned into Icebreaker Radio. If you only knew the power of gods.
Let's go.
You are now tuned into Icebreaker Radio. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello there.
Hello there.
Hello there. Star Wars is a wonderful, wonderful thing that is put on this planet by the creator George Lucas to entertain us, to make us happy, to make us sad, to make us mad. Then Disney took over. And Disney tried to replicate what George Lucas did. And they're at about a 50-50 overall. But I was reading through some of the comics when I was researching this topic just to, I went through Reddit, got a lot of different people's take on why they think Stormtroopers don't. And I came across a poll. And it was a poll that was done by StarWars.com that showed that Disney Star Wars actually has more hits by the Stormtroopers than George Lucas Star Wars.
Bro, how? I can understand in the movies, but like Rebels?
And I was sitting there, so I started thinking about it, and I'm like, you know what? In Rogue One, they do hit more people, even though they miss a lot, because what's-his-face just walks through the damn field, and it's like 50 Stormtroopers just shooting at him, and they don't even get close. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that one, that's different. That's different.
They were just terrible. But if you go back and you really look, like, if you go back to the sequel trilogy, like, they're all standing in a circle, and they shoot everybody in the damn village, and they kill everybody, but they're standing in a circle, which I don't know how they didn't shoot themselves.
Yeah.
I think they had better training by the sequels. I think somebody in the Empire or, whatever, the First Order, or whatever you want to call it, figured out by that point that, okay, we need to fix this because these guys can't hit shit. And I think it's just an overall thing. Now, going back to Disney and George Lucas. We all love George Lucas. Okay, we do. We're not so happy with Disney. And it just depends on the type of Star Wars fan you are. But there has been a lot of talk about the overall criticism of Star Wars since Disney has taken over. And I will not just criticisms of the films. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say too much about the books because most of the books are just amazing that Disney has put out. But they got great writers. I wish they would use some of their book writers as some of their plot writers on films, but it's two totally different things. But there's also been a lot of criticism or a lot of hate coming towards people like myself, people like Garrison, that we view Star Wars, we enjoy Star Wars, we love Star Wars, but at the same time, I am going to look at all fundamental parts of the thing because of what I do. You know what I'm saying? I am a critic. I am not just a fan. I criticize everything that I watch. It's not just Star Wars. If I see something that's bad, I'm going to criticize it and say it was bad. Just because it has a Star Wars brand on it does not necessarily make it good, as we have seen. And I know some people get irritated that they hear us and they say, oh man, you guys are negative all the time. And it's not, I'm trying to be negative. I want the best Star Wars possible. I don't expect perfection, but I also don't expect things that a $1 billion company that is making stuff to make garbage. And you're taking people's money. And I don't agree with that. Don't take people's money putting out garbage and standing on something that was built by a man that was not perfect, because I don't like I'm not going to say I don't like him, but I wasn't completely, if I sat back and watched the original trilogy, I pick it apart. I pick apart the sequel, the prequel trilogy. I pick apart Clone Wars. I'm not just picking on just Disney. Just Disney has a way worse track record than when George Lucas had the franchise.
They do.
But my job as a critic is to point out things that other people might not see. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy everything in Star Wars. I watched Book of Boba Fett. I watched Book of Boba Fett multiple times. I've watched Kenobi multiple times. I've watched every single thing that has came out way more times than I probably should have, because I am a fan of the franchise. But at the same time, if I can't openly criticize or openly point out bad things that happen, that people that get paid way more money than all of us, it is their job to make this look as best as they possibly can, and they do not do that, and then they charge you money for it, they are falling short of our expectations as fans. Our expectations of fans is for you to put out quality product. Right. It's like if you go to the store, you can go to the store and you can buy a gun or any product. I'm just going to use a gun as an example.
I was like, damn, we just went. You're like, oh, Disney, bad quality product. I'm going to buy a gun. What?
Do you go to the store and buy a Smith & Wesson or a Glock? Or do you go to the store and you buy a High Point? Yeah, the price may vary, but you know the quality of the gun that you're going to get. Mm-hmm. And if we are spending our hard-earned money working on stuff, you have to accept the fact that if you're not putting out quality product, we're going to talk about it. And we're going to put down that product because it's not high quality. I don't care if it has a Star Wars name on it. It would be no different than if Ford came out with a car and they've done it. It was just garbage. Everybody talked about it. This car's just garbage. The Taurus. The transmissions was failing for 15 years. That was what they were known for. The transmission failed. You buy a Taurus, your transmission is going to go out. Everybody knew that. And if people did not sit back and talk about it, people would not understand that that's the way that car is. So they didn't know what they were getting into when they came into it. I want people to know Star Wars is great, but you also got to understand that we're in a different time than we were, 30 years ago when George was doing it. And George wasn't perfect neither. He made mistakes. I mean, we've seen it. One of the topics that we are talking about today, George made a mistake within the thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? George, Obi-Wan says in the beginning of New Hope, this accuracy was done by Imperial Stormtroopers.
Right.
And as we see throughout the entire franchise, Stormtroopers can't hit shit. So that was a big mistake that was done on his part. That's not the deal. And it should be fun. You got to understand, I'm not just criticizing it just to be on any part of Star Wars. I'm doing it as a jokingly manner because I enjoy it regardless. I enjoyed watching Book of Boba Fett. It wasn't very good, but I still enjoyed watching it. It's Star Wars. But I'm going to criticize it if it's bad. And I'm going to do it in a fun,
right.
And I do it in a fun. I call Boba Fett the cookie baker and homemaker. And it's all about jokes and having fun.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you don't love something like it's think about your kid. Your kid is doing something wrong. You love your kid, but you sit back and say, what the hell are you doing? Why would you do that? That was stupid. Right. You know what I'm saying? But you still love your kid. That's the reality of it. I love Star Wars, but I still got to point out the things that are the imperfections.
And when things aren't perfect, like I think we should be able to call it out and talk about it and try to make it better. I mean, if we're not saying something about it, it's just going to keep happening, right? And I know, like, a lot of people, they get upset that we're haters or whatever, but why does it matter if someone doesn't agree with you and someone doesn't like what you like? You know what I mean? Like, when people get upset that I don't like some of the Disney Star Wars, and they're like, oh, you're just a hater. Like, are you that insecure in your own opinion that you attack somebody who has a different opinion? You know what I mean?
I wouldn't
like,
even say
it's okay.
Because this is the thing. I am one of my biggest critics. I criticize everything. I could have done that better. I could have done that better. Nobody is infallible. People make mistakes. Companies make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they intentionally make mistakes in order to build a higher profit margin. I mean, look at Pfizer. I mean, they told everybody for years that Oxycontin wasn't freaking, you know what I'm saying, wasn't addictive. And it's one of the most addictive drugs on the planet. You know what I'm saying? Opium is addictive as hell. But they made a large profit. You know what I'm saying? So it all depends. It's all circumstantial. You know what I'm saying? Everything is circumstantial because of the outcome. You know what I'm saying? And I just want everybody to understand that we are Star Wars fans. And we criticize things because we want it to be better. Right. I want the best Star Wars that I can get. I know that that's impossible. I want perfect Star Wars. If it was up to me, every fucking Star Wars that would come out would be the perfection. It would be fucking excellent. But that's impossible.
It is possible.
You can't have it.
I have
so. But when something's great, I boast about it. I fucking boast about that shit so much. I'm still talking about how much I like fucking 5. Episode 5 of Ahsoka. I'm telling people all the time, episode 5 is fucking the shit. That shit is the shit. It was like one of the best Star Wars that I fucking seen in a long ass time. That shit was amazing. Now, there was some imperfections, and I pointed those imperfections out. But that didn't mean that I didn't love the episode. So far, I've really enjoyed Ahsoka. Like, I've enjoyed Ahsoka fucking great. And I'm probably a little bit biased because I love Ahsoka as a fan of the character. But I just want to get that out there that people need to understand that a lot of this is done out of fun anyway. And I'm like being really strict at the things I'm looking for because I want to give a honest opinion of something. You know what I'm saying? I want to give my honest opinion, like the dog thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit was terrible. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, dropped it a point. You know what I'm saying? It was freaking terrible. That shit looked like garbage. And as an editor, as a CGI artist, I know the things that they can do. We seen Transformers. You know what I'm saying? We seen CGI that's fucking phenomenal. And it's like, dog, why did y'all let that get by? You know what I'm saying? And I didn't even attack Dave Filoni or, you know, I attacked the CGI guy about that. I said, hey, man, whoever the CGI guy on this was just he dropped the ball on that shit. Because it's not just one person. You got to remember, every production is multiple people. You know what I'm saying? You got writers, directors, editors,
a whole gang of people. Yeah, it's
Foley
huge.
artists. You got all these different artists that are doing all these different things in a production. I didn't even attack Ahsoka for it. I attacked him for it. You know what I'm saying? You thought the Sabine parts was dull. I thought the Sabine parts was, I just didn't really pay no attention to it because it just didn't, other than the pacing.
It was dull.
Other than the pacing of it, you know what I'm saying? But that's my job. I have created movies before. I have, you know, I'm like nothing fucking like Star Wars or anything like that, but I've done short films and stuff before, and I know what to look for. So that's what I look for. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm trying to get people to understand. And I don't want to rant on this too long because we got a whole topic to talk about. But I just want to let people know all of this. I love Star Wars. What we do and talk about Star Wars is all out of fun. And if I can't criticize something, or if I can't give my personal opinion about something, you might want to go watch a channel that, you know what I'm saying, that's going to sit back and just kiss everybody's ass and say everything is wonderful. But they're not real. And you're not going to get the truth about something. You're not going to get an honest opinion. You're going to get that, because it's Star Wars, it's great. And that's not real. That's not real in anything. Nothing in this world is 100% perfection. Nothing. You never get perfection. No person is infallible. You can't. The only person that ever walked this planet that was supposed to be infallible was Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, everybody else is imperfect. So you're going to have imperfection, and it's okay to point them things out. It's fun. It makes it enjoyable. Because if you point out the bad, then you can really appreciate the good. You know what I'm saying? If you don't see nothing bad, then there's no good, then you don't appreciate it. One of the greatest sayings of all time is you don't ever learn from your perfections. You learn from your failures.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't learn from the things that you did perfect. You learn from the things that you failed at. That's what you learn from. And how can I learn to appreciate the great shit that comes out if everything was perfect? It would just be boring. If everything was perfect, it would be boring. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to look at everything, analyze everything, find the things that we love. Because right now, like, dude, the more and more this comes on, the more and more I want to know more about Balin with Ahsoka. But that's a whole nother story. Balin is just so intriguing to me. I want to find out more about this dude.
I'm digging Balin. I like Balin a lot.
But it's just, you know what I'm saying? You have to find the greatness of the. You got to find the imperfections so you can really appreciate the great parts, and that's what we're here to do. You know, we're here to really analyze it, not just as fans, but as critics. You know what I'm saying? Cisco and Ebert were critics. They criticized everything. Every movie that comes out, they criticize it. And if it got a perfect, or, you know what I'm saying, what they would consider a perfect, that means not that there was not imperfections in the movie, that there wasn't enough of them to even fucking bother talking about because the movie was so good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And if they come to that, then I'm not going to bother because I'm going to be sitting here. But I will never give anything a 10. You will never hear me be like, this was a 10 or 11. This was so damn good. I would never do that because there's always going to be something I can find wrong with something. If a green screen pops up, which they don't use green screen, I'm just using this as an example. But if a green screen popped up, you're losing a point because the editor failed his job. The director failed his job catching the editor. That's just the way that it is.
Right.
So, all right. I just wanted to get that out there.
You're good.
Well, it's just because, you know
no,
what I'm
I
saying?
think it's, well, no, because we just had that post, what was it, Star Wars Theory, or?
Oh, but there's been several posts.
Yeah,
Which
but
he
a lot
does.
of people complain about it. It's like a common thing, dude.
A lot of people do.
And I
You
think
can't
it's
sit back and say, I love everything Star Wars, but I hate the sequel
Right.
trilogy, and then be like, oh, but you guys are bad guys. Like, that's not fair because
Right.
you sat back and say that you hate it. Most people say that they hate the sequel trilogy.
Right.
Most real Star Wars fans said that shit doesn't make any sense to Star Wars.
Right.
That's just the reality of it. If you did a poll, I think it was like 89% of people said they didn't like the sequel trilogy, which that 11% that does, that's a lot of people. That's millions of people that like the sequel trilogy. And like I said, it's not that I dislike the sequel trilogy, it just doesn't fit the storyline. Its own story, and you take out Luke, Leia, and Han, great movies. You know what I'm saying? They just killed my heroes off very badly. You could have done better than that. But like I say all the time, I'm excited to see the Rey story, the Rey movie, because I want to see what Rey does next. I'm excited to see that. I want to see what happens with Rey. Like, does she go to be a Jedi? Does she open a Jedi temple and start training people? Does she just become this rogue Jedi person that flies around and helps out people and negotiates and battles with people and looking for the dark side? We don't know what they're going to do. And I'm excited to find out because Rey as a character wasn't bad. The story was just, it wasn't a sequel because it had nothing to do with the other ones. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, what is this? And that's the thing.
And then people accuse the Star Wars fandom of being toxic. And don't get me wrong, there are toxic attributes to it. But just the fact that so many people are divided on what shows are good and some people like them, some people don't. I don't think that's toxic. It's toxic when you get mad at each other for not agreeing.
And I don't get mad at it. When people sit back and tell me, oh, I fucking loved that episode, it was great. I'm glad you liked it. I am happy that you liked it. Personally, I got, like, this dude tried to argue with me about the Book of Boba Fett. I love the Book of Boba Fett. Book of Boba Fett is the greatest Star Wars ever. I'm glad that you feel that way. I am happy for you.
Yeah, yeah.
I wish I felt that way about it. I do. I wish I felt that way about it. I just can't. There ain't no argument there.
Right.
I'm not going to argue with you about it because, dude, I can't change your opinion. I can't change nobody's mind. You're going to like what you like, and that's the great thing about being an individual. Right. That is the most wonderful thing about being an individual is because we all have our own opinion. We get to like what we want to like. Can't nobody tell me what I can and cannot like. Can't nobody on this planet do that. You know what I'm saying? The only person that can do that is God, and he hasn't yet to come to tell me that I have to like Boba Fett. So, you know what I'm saying? When he does, I'll like Boba Fett from that point. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can control anybody else. And that's one of the biggest problems with fandom, the toxicity that they talk about in fandom. It's people arguing and trying to change people's opinion. Quit trying to change people's opinion. If somebody doesn't like somebody or somebody does like something, that's their opinion.
Well, and the thing is, like, I'm fine with the arguing as long as it's like, because we argue about different points of Ahsoka, but we're not getting upset with each other.
No.
You know
Why
what I
am
mean?
I going to get upset with my friend or even a stranger about a TV show? This is meant to entertain us, and it entertains the shit out of me, so I don't give a shit if you like or dislike it or not. You know how many people I've fucking met in my life that hate Star Wars? Star Wars is stupid. Like, no, you're stupid. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't get what it is. It's not real. It is something that was created, like just like all movies. None of this shit is real. You know, it might be based on a true story, but you know what I'm saying? None of this shit is real. It's about taking you out of your daily fucking bullshit, going to work, paying bills, taking care of your family. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you do in life, it's mundane. It's just the same thing over and over and over again. It's meant to take you out of that for a time period and let you just enjoy it, even if it's a bad movie. I have never started a movie. Now, I'm not going to say that because it's a lie. But there hasn't been too many movies that I haven't started. Less than 10 in my entire life that I have started that I didn't finish. I always watch it all the way through. I always watch the movie all the way through. You know what I'm saying? Like, and most of the time it was just so boring I fell asleep and then I never went back and just watched the end of it. But it's less than 10 times in my entire life. I always watch the movie all the way through. Because you don't ever know what's going to happen. It could be boring as shit. There's been movies that's been boring as shit for the first hour, and then all of a sudden the next hour is the most amazing movie ever. Like, holy shit, I can't even believe this is the same movie. It happens. So I want to watch it to the end. I want to when I criticize something, or if I sit back and say this was a good movie or a bad movie, I want to know from beginning to end. Because I can't give an honest opinion if I haven't watched it all. So if somebody comes to me and says, have you watched this movie? And I say, yeah. And they be like, what did you think about it? I can't say, oh, well, I thought it was good or I thought it was bad if I didn't watch it or if I didn't finish it. You know what I'm saying? So I always try to watch it because I want to give my honest opinion. Because people depend on opinions. A lot of people depend on opinions, you know what I'm saying? And that's the great thing about YouTube and podcasts and all that different stuff. People can come find multitudes of opinion. Then they can watch it and then they can make their own opinion based on how they feel. Because there's so many different opinions. Now, if everybody was saying the same thing, people would go in with a bias. It wouldn't be honest. It would not be the truth. Oh, Star Wars is just great because everybody said it is great. No, you don't want people to come in and be fans like that. You want people to come in and be fans because they stand on their own merit. And most of Star Wars, the majority of Star Wars is fucking phenomenal. It's great. You know what I'm saying? So you got to let a person come in, and if they're hearing negative comments, they're hearing positive comments, and they come in and they watch it for themselves, and they be like, hey, I'm on this team over here because I think it was great. Or I'm on this team over here. I didn't think it was that good. At least they made an honest opinion. You know what I'm saying? At least you're giving people the ability to make their own honest opinion. Not a biased opinion because everybody says something. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it's very hard. The only people you hear that ever say that John Wick isn't good is women. And then most of the time, it's too gruesome. Most men love John Wick. But you don't ever hear anybody say, oh, John Wick sucked. You don't ever hear nobody say that shit. So you're going into it when the first time you watch it. You're going into it with a bias because everybody says how good it is. Because I caught myself. But then I found things that I found wrong with that. Like, dude, you can't do that. That's impossible. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But then I also have to remember that this is not reality. You know what I'm saying? It's not real. So I can't judge it that harshly on some shit that I know is impossible to do. Somebody that's a martial artist, somebody that uses guns, you can't do some of the shit that John Wick's done. But it's a movie. You're not supposed to be able to do it. It's a
wild.
movie.
It's wild.
You know what I'm saying? So it's, you know, it's just one of those things where I just want everybody, use your own mind. If you don't like us, you don't have to watch us. If you do like us, watch us. If you disagree with us, put it in the comments. We don't care. You know what I'm saying? If you disagree with us, it's not going to hurt our feelings one bit. If you say you guys are dumbasses,
It might hurt my feelings a little bit, but
it's not going to hurt our feelings. It's not. I
want.
want to hear your honest opinion. I always want to hear people's honest opinion. You know what I'm saying? I might not agree with you. I might argue with you a little bit about it, you know what I'm saying, because it's fun. But it's not going to hurt my feelings, I promise. What hurts my feelings is when people sit back and say, we don't like Star Wars, we're Star Wars haters, because that's not fucking true. I love Star Wars. I watch Star Wars, something with Star Wars every single day. I read articles, I listen to books every single day, and I have most of my life that I was able to get a hold of something. You know what I'm saying? And I did that because Star Wars is amazing.
Right.
Even some of
And
the
the
books
fact-
I don't like.
I think the fact that we're critical of a lot of Star Wars shows how much we love it. We're critical, but we still watch everything and we still talk about everything. I mean, I think that shows love more than just blindly loving everything.
Well, and then you get some people.
We
And
see
this
the
is-
flaws and we accept them. We keep moving on. We keep talking about it.
Yeah. Dude, if there wasn't no flaws and it was perfect, then I'd probably complain it was too perfect.
I don't know.
Like
about
that was too perfect. It was
That was
that's
too
fucking
good.
bullshit.
No.
They didn't make that shit. I literally said back, George made that. I be saying shit like that. George made that.
Fuck it.
Disney
Who
didn't make
Disney
that
pay?
shit.
What is this?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, you know, it's about having fun. We're here to enjoy Star Wars as a community. And nobody in the community is ever going to agree on everything. We see that shit on everything. People fucking argue about politics, religion, fucking just everything. Everything that there is, there's somebody out there that has a different opinion of somebody else. That's normal. That's what being human is. We need to have different opinions. Because if we all had the same opinions, we'd be communist. Because we're forced to have that opinion. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's the reality of it. We're, you know, most of us, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to say, just looking at statistics of our channel, most of the people that watch, you know, of our 1,400 subscribers, most of them people live in America. Now, we do have some people in Europe and people in Australia and some other countries. But Australia is not under a dictatorship. Europe is not really under a dictatorship. Brazil's not really under a dictatorship. It's not like, you know, we even have some Russian fans. And they are lucky enough to be able to fucking, you know, stream shit and stuff, because a lot of that shit is cut off. They don't get to watch shit. Their Google's cut off. We even have some people in China. You know what happens over there? They find out you watching Star Wars or watching something on Google that you ain't supposed to, they kill you. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't want you to be able to hack into anything and watch anything other than the stuff that they tell you can watch. And that's, you know, that's messed up. But I mean, for us to be able to do that, you know what I'm saying? It's just, you know, that's the great thing about having opinions. It makes it wonderful. And that we can express our opinions, all of us. You know what I'm saying? All of us can express our opinions, tell people what we think about things, and we're not supposed to agree with each other. Shit, I disagree with my wife every day. We've been together for 20 years. Every day she says something like, I don't agree with that. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I do? I don't think that's right, babe. I love you, though. And just like all Star Wars fans, I love all. If you're a Star Wars fan, I love you. You are my fucking partner in crime regardless. I'll ride with another Star Wars fan before I will anybody else. Star Wars fans, when it comes down to it, we stick together. I'll tell you that much. You know what I'm saying? Let somebody else be talking about Star Trek is better than Star Wars. I bet you we all go to war.
There you go.
You know,
There you go. That's one thing we can agree on in the Star Wars fandom.
You know what I'm saying? We all go to war with that. I will argue with somebody till I'm blue in the face. There's no way in hell Star Trek is better than Star Wars. Now, some of the series, I could argue that, but you know what I'm saying? On the other
We don't
hand,
need to get into that. We don't need
but
to
we're not going to get into that. But, you know, and I haven't talked with General Garrison over here. But I'm thinking after the Ahsoka series, we might on Wednesday nights, until the next episode come out, we might just start doing random movies. We have been talking about it, and then we didn't do it. We've been talking about it, and like I said, I haven't discussed it with Garrison, but it was just a thought that just popped in my head last night, that on Wednesday nights we could do the movie review channel. Just do lightsaber radio movie reviews or whatever.
Like when we don't have shows coming out?
Yeah, when we don't have a show coming out. So
that's
we'll just watch
a good idea.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
Just give you guys Wednesday content, and y'all can come check that out. And we'll just talk shit about other movies, so it's not always about Star Wars. You know, this movie was fucking garbage, and I'm still fucking mad. I still haven't seen Oppenheimer. I'm sorry. I keep saying I'm gonna go, and then something comes up, and I don't go. It's messed up. I want to see it so bad too, but my wife don't want to see it, so it's like I gotta go by myself. And I don't like going to movies by myself. I look like that creeper dude. Like,
dude,
oh my
it's
God.
weird. Yeah, I'm kind of too scared to go to the movies by myself.
Like back in the day when I was younger, and like I get off work and I go to the movies by myself. Because I get off, say I got off early that day, and I just go to, because ain't nobody there. It's like fucking 1 o'clock in the afternoon or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I just go. You know what I'm saying? Just go to the movies. There ain't nobody there. It's like 10 people in the entire thing. It's like fucking we're all old or whatever. You know what I'm saying? We're all like by ourselves. I didn't mind that, but I'm not going to go at 5 o'clock in the afternoon to go see a movie. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing that, not by myself, because then you just look like a creeper. But yeah, I thought we could just do that on the nights that, you know what I'm saying, we just start another channel and just do movie critic reviews, and just about, because there's a lot of movies coming out. Yeah. And nowadays it's freaking crazy. I could have swore I just seen the thing for fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cartoon animated thing, and it's already on streaming. Like, dude, I just seen the preview when I watched Indiana Jones like 2 months ago. It's already out on streaming. Jesus Christ. Like, that shit wasn't even in the movies but like a month. You know what I'm saying? It's just, so shit coming out so fast, it's just so much easier to get access to stuff. We could do a gang of movies. You know what I'm saying? And we might even do it like we could watch the movie together. You know what I'm saying? We could all watch the movie together on a Wednesday night, like Wednesday night movie watch, and just watch the movie, and then we all sit there and talk about it for 30 minutes afterwards. Like, all right, there was some fucked up shit about that, or yeah, that shit was great. You know, there's all kind of different things we'll do. We'll have to figure that out, but I just thought about it last night, so I figured I'd bring it up today, see what Garrison thought about it. All right.
Yeah.
We done wasted 30 minutes talking about on this rant.
That's part of it. The rant is part of it, because we're talking about flaws in Star Wars. And Stormtroopers not hitting shit is a bit of a flaw in Star Wars.
So let's you got a Icebreaker for us today?
Oh, sure. Damn. We're going all the way back.
Yeah, we gotta go back. I mean, I know we took 30 minutes to talk about fucking criticism.
Yeah. No, as long as we're done so I can watch my football in time. That's it. I'm just kidding.
I just want to take a nap. I feel like shit, guys. Dude, I've had a bad week.
College football is huge today. There's a lot of good games on. So
I don't know. I don't watch football no more. I don't have time. Between writing this book, the two podcasts, everything. I was supposed to go shooting today, so hopefully I get to do that this afternoon.
Heck yeah. Shooting's always a good time. All right. We'll hit the Heartbreaker. This is a different one than usual.
Okay, what do we got?
All right. So this one's a little bit different than usual, but it was a question posed by Addison. I was like, you know what? That's a great point. I'm curious about it. Count Dooku gets his arms chopped off, right? In episode 3.
Yeah.
Do you think, 2 questions. First, do you think he could still use the Force if he had his arms chopped off?
Yeah, because the Force isn't part of your arms. The Force is your whole body.
So Darth Vader doesn't need to do this.
Both arms cut off. You know, no, but I think it's just, I mean, you don't have to do that. I don't think he has to do that, because he chokes what's-his-face and his arms is crossed. He chokes that one lieutenant and his arms is crossed. And he turns around and says, blah, 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 blah. So you don't have to do that. I think he just does that. I think it's more for dramatic effect. Like, hey, choke your ass. Like, I think
it's completely unnecessary. He's just being extra.
Because you got to think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, at one point, like, And you got to realize that his arm ain't even real. It's a mechanical arm. So it has nothing to do with the Force. So he doesn't have to do that shit.
So like, why do they ever use arms? Like, do they need their arms to shoot lightning?
No, because Bane didn't have to do it. Bane could draw lightning out of the sky.
So is it? Yeah. So what determines it? Is it just?
I mean,
random?
it's just.
Is it just?
I guess it's just
how
the way
strong
that
you are,
or just the way you're taught. You know what I'm saying? That might go into it. You know what I'm saying? It's like my whole life I was taught to shoot with one eye closed. You know what I'm saying? You aim up like that, and you know what I'm saying? But now, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to learn to shoot with both eyes open because tactically, why would you shut your eye and give yourself a blind spot? You know, even hunting, why would you shut your eye? You're going to aim at this deer or this elk or whatever, and you're like this, and over here to the side over here, you got this bigger elk, you know what I'm saying? It's way bigger than the one that you're about to shoot. You want to switch to that one. You wouldn't even have seen it if your eyes was closed, if your one eye was closed. But my whole life, I was taught to shoot with one eye closed. That's just the way my dad taught me. And so I thought that that's the way, and I'm a pretty good shot like that. But now I'm trying to train myself to shoot with both eyes open. And I can say I'm still fairly, you know what I'm saying, proficient. But, you know, it's just the way I was taught. It's hard to be taught something else. So if you're always used to going, you know what I'm saying, to choke somebody, that's just what you do. Because you got to think, both of Anakin's legs and his arms have been cut off. Dooku cut off one of his arms.
Right,
he had to get
but he
the
still
prosthetic.
uses his
and then he got his
arms.
then Obi-Wan cut off the other arm, you know what I'm saying, and both his legs. So does anybody know if Obi-Wan cut off the same arm or was it the other arm? I think when he's laying there and they're putting him together, it's both arms.
When he's laying there, he still has his robot arm.
He still has his robot arm. So Obi-Wan cut off the other arm. So he had both his legs and both his arms cut off. So he don't need to do it. It's a robot hand. It don't have no force in it. You know what I'm saying? I think it just all depends on, you know, like it's just what they're taught. It's like, you know, if you're okay. My dad used to have this thing, and we had to learn to eat with our left hand and write and everything with our left hand. Like whatever your opposite hand was, just in case anything ever, like you broke your right hand, you're like, I'm right-handed, I break my right hand. I have to learn, or I, you know, get my right hand cut off or whatever. I have to learn how to be able to do everything. So my dad was a big proponent of teaching yourself how to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like teaching yourself how to write. So he'd make us sit down and write what our we can, eat what our we can. You know what I'm saying? And now I can do a lot of stuff just as good with my left hand as I can with my right hand because I taught myself over time. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I did the same thing to my kids. Like, dude, you don't ever know what's going to be, you know, what's going to happen. So you should always practice with your other arm. You know, just do stuff. I eat with my left hand every time now. I don't ever eat with my right hand. I always eat with my left hand. It just, I got so used to doing it, I just do it now. Huh. So I always eat with my right hand. I always have my drink. I always have my drink in my right hand, and I always eat with my left hand, even though I'm right-handed. I still can't write for shit with my left hand. It looks like chicken scribble. Like, what the fuck is that? What word is that? But if I had to, I could, you know, it's proficient enough that I could, it's passable. So it's just, I think it's just.
I can't, there's no way in hell I write with my left hand.
It's just, but also it was something we was taught from the time we was really, really young. Right. I think we were like 4 or 5 when my dad started doing it.
You think that when they use their hands in the Force, it's more like that's how they taught, that's how they learn the Force. It's not so much that they need to use them.
Well, it's like when if you go through Bane's book when he's in the like the first time it describes it, so because he didn't learn how to use Force lightning from a Jedi master or from a Sith master. That's right. He learned from Bethany. And Bethany just showed him how to do it. And he was creating a storm above his head. And it was just tearing up the whole archives down there. And then I think just because the way he taught, he knew that he could just draw lightning from any point. It didn't have to come from his body. Right. And then like later on in I think book 2 or book 3, the guys are running towards him and he just blasting them out of the sky. They're just getting torched, like, even though he can still do it out of his fingers because he does it when they're fighting Farfalla, and then because what's his face puts that bubble around him and he shoots the force lightning out of his hands, and then it shocks himself and he's covered in the orbalists, and he kills all the orbalists, and then they were poisoning him. So he could still do it out of his fingers. He learns how to do it out of his finger, but when he initially was doing it, he was doing it just from anywhere. He could just make the storm appear above him and just do it. So I think it's just the way that you're taught. You know what I'm saying? It's just how you're taught to do something. I mean, look at Revan. How was Revan taught to catch a lightning bolt and send it back to somebody? Like, who taught Revan that? You know what I'm saying? Like, he just, cause you got to think about it. He just went, like, he went before the Emperor. The Emperor fucked with his brain, sent them back to the old Republic, and then their own will changed them, and they forgot about the Emperor and sent him back to, you know what I'm saying? Well, they sent him back, then they just kind of went rogue and tried to take over the Republic by themselves instead of just being spies. They tried to take over the Republic, him and Malik. And so who taught him how to do this? You know, who taught him how to do it? I think it's just something that he kind of learned himself. So he had way more control over it, what he could do, than somebody actually teaching him. Because most Jedi, you look at Yoda, that was probably taught how to do it. The first time he got struck, the second time he actually catches it and, you know what I'm saying, redirects it. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just like how you learn and practice. How you learn, who teaches you it, just on just how you, it's just a subconscious thing that you just, even though you don't have to.
I love the sound effects. You have to go every time.
Because they all do that. They all do that because they just standing there and all of a sudden they can't breathe and they're like, oh shit, I'm dying. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the thing, like, do Jedis teach that? You know what I'm saying? Do Jedis teach you how to choke people? You know what I'm saying? Is that something that's taught in the Jedi Order?
Probably not.
You know what I'm saying? Like, here, this is how you choke people. But you got Balin had to teach Haiti because she was choking Sabine from behind. Remember when she walks up, she's like, so it's like somewhere you had to learn how to do that shit. So it's like, did you learn on your own? Was you taught? You know what I'm saying? And she's doing the same thing. Like, is it just something that's taught? Because you don't have to do that. But at the same time, why didn't he use the Force? I know that's the second part. Why didn't he use the Force or something to stop him from getting his head cut off?
Either that, or at the very least, because Palpatine says, do it, right? And he just sits there with that stupid look on his face. Why didn't he say, time out, he's the Sith Lord. It's not me. Look, check under his robes. He's got a lightsaber in there.
I would probably think because of initial shock, he was just shocked that Palpatine was just throwing him under the bus like that. Like, dude, really? You gonna let him kill me? I thought you was my dude, man. What the hell? Like, Jesus Christ, you're evil as shit.
Come on, man.
Like, Jesus, oh God.
I did everything you asked.
And then you just gonna let this dude kill me? But yeah, I think that it was, I think it was just initial shock because you look at the look on his face. He's like, "What? Really? Dead?" You know what I'm saying? I just don't like. They had a whole conversation and he just sits there with, you know what I'm saying? Like, why didn't you like roll away or
just sits there in shock?
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like you're bleeding all over the place. The lightsabers cauterized the wounds. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, why didn't you use the Force to get your hand to smack Anakin across the face or something? Like, hit him in the face. Blue. Do something to try. He just sat there and took it. Like, what? And maybe he told him. Maybe Palpatine told him you had to die. You'll have to die in order to succeed or in order to... You don't know what Palpatine told him. By the way,
at the end of this mission, you're going to be dead. So Nelson says, I would love some episodes of characters and their impact in the Star Wars universe, like a Who's Who series. Probably learn on your own, like Bane realized he killed his father by grabbing his dad's heart, making him have a heart attack. Yeah, he didn't know at first. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Nelson, I'm working on getting that together. I'm trying to get like a complete character list and, you know, like a complete planet list. There's a couple out there, but they're missing some, and then they're adding new ones. So, and there's new characters coming in constantly. So it's just about resources. And then, you know, you got to do a podcast about like the who's who, because the plan is still out there to do the who's who of Star Wars. But like there's a lot of characters that need to be talked about that don't have a complete database, so it's a lot of research. You know what I'm saying? You go to Fandom and it got like half a paragraph of who these people are, where they came from, and that's all they got on there. So there's a lot more research that has to be done before you can go into the actual characterization of each like a who's who. But it's being worked on. I got a few episodes that are at least written out. I
mean, we could still do that in this podcast. Even we could do an episode or two about like who's who.
Like I probably got 10 done so far that are ready to be in recording. 10 or 20. I don't know exactly how many. I've done quite a few characters. But it's just a lot of information, so that takes a lot more time. And then also you have, you know, like Theodore, you know, with all of his stuff that he does, because, you know, that's something that's not going to be a live production. It's going to be something that's more as the sway format.
Right, recorded.
Yeah, recorded and thing. So it also, Theodore has to have time to, you know, because he does all the editing for the Sway podcast, so he'll have to go in and edit. So it's all about time. There's just a lot of components that go into it. So, but it's still on the chopping block. I'm trying to get it out by the end of this year, if possible, at least a couple of the episodes. But I want to have enough done that, you know, I'm not rushing to get stuff done, because I have already so much stuff that I'm doing. So somebody else was supposed to be doing it, and that fell through. So. But it's definitely something that we're still working on. Yeah. So okay. Now let's get to we're shit 45 minutes in, and we ain't even really talking.
We'll make it a quick one.
Why do Stormtroopers miss? Well, we have a definitive explanation throughout the original series and Rebels why Stormtroopers can miss. And that's, Luke says, you can't see nothing in this helmet. And then Rex says in Rebels, you know, Kanan says, you really do shoot like a Stormtrooper. And he was like, dude, you can't see shit in this damn helmet. Right. So we know that it's their helmet. It's basically
but
canon.
I think that was more of like a joke that they did after the fact, like because they realized.
But Luke says it too, and then it just confirmed that they can't see anything. You know, the vision is very bad within the helmet. My question is this. I mean, so we kind of know why they can't shoot. My question, and the biggest question is, if the Empire knows this shit, you know, they're engineers, you know, they got all this money, you know what I'm saying, they robbing the entire galaxy, why don't they fix it? And then why does, you know, it bothers me so much, because the Stormtroopers are such a major character within the Star Wars franchise. I mean, we have Stormtroopers in every movie. There's a Stormtrooper in every movie. Why are we, well, maybe not in the first three, because them was clone troopers, but, you know, we have them from the original, the sequel trilogies have the First Order troopers. We have, you know, in Rogue One, they got Stormtroopers, and Solo, they're Stormtroopers. They're Stormtroopers. Why do we not see, like, why don't they get any better? You know what I'm saying? Why did they just allow them to just keep not hitting shit? You know, that's my biggest question. Because if I am the Emperor, and I sit back, and I know a lot of it was like, we have so many Stormtroopers, we don't have to worry about them.
Quantity over quality.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We just overrun people. But it's like, dude, you're still losing out. Like, why would I want to come be a Stormtrooper for the Empire
if I suck?
If I suck and I'm just going to get shot. And why is everybody that they choose just suck? Like, dude, like, I know, as, you know what I'm saying, if somebody that's going to join the military, most people have some type of, you know, either gun background or, you know what I'm saying, they don't just join and know shit Like, I ain't never even played a video game that has some shooting in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jesus Christ. These dudes suck like 5 feet away and they're missing. Like, it's terrible. And I don't get it. Like, I don't understand why why as the elite force of the entire galaxy is not well or better trained and better, like, and have better. Like, they put all the heat and cold shit in there, and they put all this different stuff in there, but you can't hit shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then it's not even just the Stormtrooper helmet, because if you go back to, like, in Mandalorian, when the 2 bike riding Stormtrooper do whatever they're called, my brain is leaping right now, and they're shooting at that damn can, and they can't even hit the can from like 10 yards away. You know what I'm saying? They're just terrible. Right. So I know it's just not their helmets. It's like a whole, like, everybody in Star Wars that wears a helmet can't hit shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, why didn't the Empire do anything to change that? What's your thoughts on it, Garrison? What do you think?
Yeah, dude, I don't know, because I think it's like, one, this is like the Empire, so like when you have control over everything. And there's like no foreign power, like, because if you think about it, they control everything. There's no like foreign country that they got to fight. It's literally just them. And so when it comes to that, you're like, well, we have everything. It's not like we need a strong standing military to fight like enemies, because we don't really have enemies. It's just our country. So maybe that's one reason where I'm like, oh, they're not taking the rebellion seriously, so they're like, all right, let's just throw some people in helmets, so they'll be fine. You know what I mean? I also think just money, dude. Like, it's expensive, obviously, maintaining a huge army like that. So, like, who cares? Like, I don't want to spend money getting new helmets. It's fine. It's close enough. You know what I mean? Because even America, like, yeah, exactly. Like, we're gonna invest our money in like. Weapon. Yeah, what's a better return on investment? A thing that can blow up entire planets where people are too scared to even try to fight, or lowering the eye holes a little bit? Like,
well, you think how much technology they have? They'd have like targeting systems within the helmet, like Boba Fett got, you know?
Right. But maybe they don't. Maybe they're just fucking like I said.
You think that they would? Well, maybe you have to turn it on, and they just ain't got time to turn it on because they're always running into battle or something. I don't know. It's just, I just never got, you know. And I know I know it was like an ongoing joke. You know what I'm saying? That the Stormtroopers just couldn't hit shit, and they just kept doing it in the sequel. I mean, the original trilogy, prequel trilogy. We had clones. They were better shots. They were way better shots. And then in the Clone Wars, they were way better shots because they were clones. But in the original trilogy, it was basically set up for, you know, the Stormtroopers, and they were just terrible. And it's just like, dude, like, why would you even, like, I wouldn't want to join that military. Like, you're not going to give me no training. You're just going to put me in an armor that don't protect shit and give me a blaster and go to war. Like, no, wait a minute. Is somebody going to teach me how to do something? Like, you just aim and shoot, damn it. Aim at what? I don't even know how to aim this thing. And then if you ever notice how they shoot them, nobody brings the gun up here. The blaster.
They never look down. They're
here
just hip firing.
And it's not even like, and blaster bolts are like so slow. Why is that? Why is the lasers in Star Wars so much slower
than a bullet?
Than like a bullet. Like, Jedis can just whack them away with a lightsaber, or you know what I'm saying? Or just use the force and just push them to the side because they're going to, or just dodge. You know, just put their head to the side. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you know, like, dude, these things is way slow. You take a laser that's traveling at like the speed of light, you would think. It should go faster.
Oh, they're not traveling that fast.
Well, I'm saying it's like a laser. It's like light traveling through air. Like, it should go way faster than why it goes that fast. Like, why?
God damn, you're breaking Star Wars, Kyle. Come on.
Like, I don't get it. Like, that's just one. And then, have you ever noticed in the original trilogy that the good guys are shooting red lasers and the bad guys are shooting green lasers?
Yeah, at the beginning, with like.
Yeah, like, why is that? Like, why didn't they catch that? And George be like, no, that ain't right. Like, why did they do that? Like, It doesn't
I've
bother me
always
because
been curious about the
why
same
do you
thing.
automatically got to assume that red is bad? Well, because, it fits with the red lightsaber of the Sith. The red is the bad, but why are the good guys shooting with the red lasers and the bad guys are shooting with green lasers? Oh, that was something
always
that
wondered
always
that
just
too.
that tickled my fancy, I guess, as they say. Like, what the hell? I don't think that's the right terminology.
Tickled my fancy. That sounds dirty, bro.
Tickles my bunghole.
The fuck?
Star Wars team leader, it's a built-in defect because the armor manufacturer and the gun manufacturer were against each other.
Yeah,
It's possible.
they're pissed
Or
off
one
at
of them
each
was
other.
actually owned by the rebels. Like, make them where they can't see so it's easier to kill them. You know what I'm saying? What if the whole time the rebels, like the dude that was making the Stormtrooper armor was really a rebel the whole time? Like, and we
see
just
it.
didn't know that. So he purposely made them where they couldn't see shit so the rebels could win.
I can see
But
it.
I mean, there's so many freaking
I mean,
Stormtroopers.
it explains
like,
the Death Star.
Yeah. And I don't understand. You know about all this shit. Like, Palpatine knew about all this different shit. He knew about the chiss. He knew about, different galaxies. You know what I'm saying? Like, why didn't he build the Death Star in a different galaxy? Why did he build the second Death Star off of Endor? Like, why did he even have to have a field projector? He could build it somewhere so far away that they didn't even know about it. You know what I'm saying?
True.
It's like,
That's why I'm not a big fan of like these other galaxies. I don't know. I'm just, you know what I
well,
mean? 'Cause,
Palpatine
like,
knew about it because he knew about the chiss. You know what I'm saying? Because he knew
Right.
about Thrawn. You know what I'm saying? So he knew about the chiss. Why didn't he just say, all right, I won't attack y'all. We won't go to war, and then I just want to build this space station over here, and then we're going to take it out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, he could have sent, like, anybody out there and just had them go talk to him. You know what I'm saying? Say, hey, we want to use up some space land. Can we use up some space land?
some
you know what I'm saying?
space land. We got some prime real estate off of this moon here.
Can we just rent some space time? You know what I'm saying? And just because we want to build something, we just don't want nobody to know about it. Because you got to think that the Chiss galaxy is outside of the known galaxy. So it's like when I hear everybody talking about this different galaxies, like where the Chiss galaxy is not in the same galaxy as, you know what I'm saying, as the regular galaxy. The Chiss is outside of that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I don't know if it's in a different galaxy or a wild space or whatever, but I mean, it's not something that's like known other than Palpatine knowing about the Chiss. You know what I'm saying? From Thrawn. Like, I don't think that there's, there's some things that I just don't get. Like, if I was the Emperor, I would have done so. I would have had my Stormtroopers be able to shoot better, and I'd have built the damn Death Star somewhere that they can't just easily get to. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
make that shit a little bit harder. Like, it was almost like you wanted to fail. Like, oh, we're gonna fail anyway. We always lose, so we might as well just hold on to our power as long as we can, and then whatever happens, happens.
Yeah. I think that's just what you run into when you make more and more like content with more and more new characters and trying to be more and more exciting. You start like adding in these things where you're like, well, where was this earlier? You know what I mean? Like, it's happened we see other galaxies. Why didn't Palpatine use the other galaxies? It's because back then there wasn't another galaxy. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't know about it until they wrote more stories after that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's part of the danger you run into when you keep writing more and more stories. Like, why do you think fucking Rey's got force healing? Qui-Gon's sitting there. Where was that when I was here? Anakin's sitting there. I would have joined the Sith if I knew about this shit. You know what I mean? That's what happens when you just keep writing new shit.
I mean, and I don't mind it. I think it just brings more intrigue into it. I just hope they don't go to the multiverse shit. Don't do multiverse.
Oh, that'd be terrible.
Like, leave that to Marvel.
Oh fuck! I fucking
Leave that to Marvel and the multiverse.
any kind of multiverse and alternate realities. Fucking, I hate that. So
Now, I wouldn't mind if they used it just to put the sequel trilogy in.
much.
And we're planning on doing an episode, and we might do it next week. I don't know. We'll have to see. But we're planning on doing an episode. I'm like right now, me and Garrison's researching the original scripts.
Right.
Or the original
What George
script
Lucas
ideas
planned.
of George Lucas wrote for the sequel trilogy, and we're going to compare them to both. Now, I know that they're out online. I found I can't remember the name of it now. I found one of them, and I'm looking for the other two. I think the other two are just premises, but I want to, we want to discuss what we really think of where they would have been, or was George Lucas on the way out anyway, and he knew it, and he was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna sell it to Disney. Like, I can't write, I'm not gonna put out
What
this
would have
garbage.
been better? Right.
I think a duck could have wrote better than give a duck a pen and just throw the right 3 Star Wars movies. Could probably done better.
Already, just a little snippet, I guess. Like, Darth Maul was the main bad guy, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was supposed to be Darth Maul and Darth Talon.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Do you think that would have been
Against
better?
Luke and Leia.
And their kids, right? Or grandkids or whatever. I don't know.
I think
Or
it was
kids.
just Luke
Their
and Leia.
kids. No, because I know for a fact one of the kids was in there.
It should have been Ben Skywalker instead of Ben Solo, because they just completely changed that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was supposed to be with Luke and Leia versus Darth Talon, or Luke Leia, and then I think I don't know. I'm gonna have to read through it. I have to research it a little bit more because I haven't read through enough of it to really know. But I know that it was. I have a feeling it would have been way better because Darth Maul coming back. They already proved Darth Maul was back in Rebels and Clone Wars.
Right.
Well, Rebels hadn't been made yet, so what I'm saying. In Clone Wars, and season 7 wasn't there yet, so I think it would have been.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, you know how I feel about people coming back, but if you're gonna bring a character like Darth Maul back, like, you might as well make him come back like hard, and that's what he does with George Lucas's sequel.
Yeah, and then he had Darth Talon because Darth Talon's supposed to be in it. So
I mean, we'd all
you
love to see
can't go
Darth
wrong
Talon.
with Darth Talon.
You can't, I mean, I
Talon
don't
is
think
hot.
anybody would be against seeing Darth Talon.
Yeah,
Who
Darth
would you
Talon
cast
is.
to play? Hey, that's a question. Who would you cast to play Darth Talon?
Oh shit,
Hey, that's good, huh?
she'd have to be super hot.
She'd have to be smoking.
She'd have to have an excellent body because Darth Talon is her body is. I don't know. That's a hard question. You can't do somebody too big. You know what I'm saying? Too breasterous or too ass, or you know what I'm saying? Because she don't have too asterisk. Just way too much ass. You couldn't get like Kim Kardashian to play
Too asterisk
to play Darth Talon because she just
no. She's
her ass and breasts are too big. Like it would just look
fit.
funny.
Darth Talon's like fit.
Yeah, she's fit hot. So you'd have to get somebody. I don't know. That's a hard one. You'd have to get somebody that's extremely, she don't have to be extremely hot, like hair wise, have long flowing hair because she ain't gonna have no hair in the series. But she'd have to have a really attractive face and a nice fit body, some good sized breasts, some I don't know. That's I guarantee you would have way more attraction to Star Wars if you put that shit out. Every Star Wars man fan would be freaking flocking to the theaters to see that shit. Oh God, Darth Talon, holy shit, I gotta go see this. And just to see Maul back would be dope. Maul with his metal legs, in live action. Oh, that shit would have been awesome. That shit would have been so awesome. God, that would have been so good.
I was never a
But
big fan
you know that's the only reason. So I was reading an article or an interview. The only reason that they didn't use his thing because they planned on killing Maul off in Rebels. That was the plan to kill.
Really?
That Obi-Wan and Maul was finally going to meet each other. That's the only reason.
I like how they that see, and that's the hard part because that ending to Maul, that was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, that was a good way to kill that character.
Obi-Wan being what Obi-Wan was the whole time.
Yeah. So
you know what I'm saying?
If you
taking him back to Dathomir and having him buried back on Dathomir, Obi-Wan, that's dope. That brings a lot of.
So if you have George Lucas's sequel, you don't have that.
Yeah, you don't have that. But I mean, because that had to happen at the end of Rebels to prove, you know what I'm saying, for it to make sense. Because Obi-Wan wasn't that old yet at the end of Rebels. He was about right before New Hope. So, you know what I'm saying, it definitely comes into, but I don't know, I would love to see him all in live action, like with legs and shit, and
I want to see
with his
Maul
metal
again,
legs,
but,
and like, I don't know how they would have done the CGI on that. I think they would have had to take from Transformers, or, you know, like iRobot or something.
Right.
I could see Charles Theron playing Darth Talon. I don't know. I'd have to look. I'd really have to sit back and look. I can't just think off the top of my head.
Charlize Theron. I'll have to look it up. I got to look that shit up.
Like, I would probably get one of them hot ass chicks from WWE to play her. You know what I'm saying? There's some hot WWE that are fit. You know what I'm saying? They're not too muscular and super hot. So, I don't know. There's a lot of people that could play her.
Maybe. She's a little old now. Charlize Theron is a little old to play Talon, right?
Well, what the hell does age got to do? It doesnn matter. They got a shit ton of makeup on her. And they could, shit, you know what I'm saying? Her whole body is freaking makeup. That'd be a fucking hellish fucking, to do the makeup before you did the scene. Oh my God, that shit would take forever. All the intricacies, all the tattoos on her and shit. Oh my God, that would take
forever. She might be too skinny.
Like, oh my God, that should get Selma Hayek to do it. Selma Hayek is old and still hot. You know what I'm saying?
I guess maybe Charlize Theron. I just feel like she's a little old, and I don't think Disney would cast that. Or I guess Disney wouldn't have it if this was possible. So
that's probably another reason they gave. Was like, we can't have no half naked chick on here the whole day for 3 movies. We can't do that. We're Disney. That's probably another reason they didn't do it.
Probably, dude.
I don't know. It's just, that's a hard thing to say. There's a lot of hot women in this world. Like, there's a lot of hot actresses, a lot of hot models, there's a lot. Like, it's
a horn dog today, ain't you?
No, I'm just saying. I mean, that's the reality. You know, dude, they said, like, I was reading this article on Facebook that they said women are actually like overall, since, like, compared to like back in the 50s, like, there's more hot women than there are ugly women.
Oh, so like there's more attractive women today than there were
than there is today. And a lot of that has to do with cosmetic surgery. You know, they can go and get, you know, saying cosmetic surgery, make themselves look better. And then men are less judgmental. In that same article, it was talking about men are less judgmental of women's faces now. Most men don't even pay attention to a woman's face no more. They're looking at their body. And it's so hard with shit. Every woman got a giant ass now, and like, Jesus Christ, you can't help but to see that shit. The shit, everywhere you turn, there's a big ass booty in your face. You're like, holy shit. Like,
there's competition.
But they actually said women are like, I think it's like 30% more attractive than they were in the 50s or something like that. It was 30.
Really? Like, women as a whole, or there's more attractive women?
Women as a whole, like, just
worldwide. So all women have gotten more attractive.
Yeah, like, not just, I'm just talking about, like, if you, like, put all women together, there's more attractive women. It's 30%, I think it was like 32 or something like that, 36% more attractive than they were in the 50s. Which, I don't know, it's kind of hard. There's a lot of hot women in the 50s. Like, people's moms was hot and shit in the 50s. Like, damn, your mom was hot.
People's moms and hot.
Like, you seen all the movies and shit? Like, everybody in them damn movies was, unless they was fat, they were like, you know what I'm saying? But then they were intentionally, they had to, like, find ugly women to put in the damn movies. Because, like, all the actresses was attractive. Like, just the way they carried themselves, they just looked more attractive. I don't know, nowadays, women just look like sluts. Like, I was at the gas station yesterday getting gas, and I'm sitting there looking like, well, why is every woman that walk in here ain't wearing no damn clothes? Like, Jesus Christ. I see my daughters, and they be posting shit. I'll be like, what the fuck are you doing? You're like half naked. Put some clothes on. Jesus. But that's just normal now. I mean, they wear them booty shorts that all up their ass and shit. Like, what the fuck is going on, man? And then they wonder why divorce rate is up so high.
Put on some clothes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, then they.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Then they wonder why divorce rate. Look how these women dress nowadays. It's like freaking. like impossible. You can't help but to look. It's right there. You got this giant ass booty, and this chick got on some shorts, half her ass is hanging out. Like Jesus, like it's so harder now. I remember back in the day, most women dressed like men. You know what I'm saying? They was wearing baggy clothes and you know what I'm saying?
They wore dresses, bro. I don't remember.
Like I'm talking about like back in the late 80s and the early 90s, most women was wearing baggy clothes and you know what I'm saying? They were, you know, looking like
I thought you
salt
were
and
still talking about
pepper
the
and
50s,
shit.
and I was like, what?
No. Looking like salt and pepper and shit, and you know that's just the way they dressed. They wore, you know, jeans, and they might have on a halter top or something, you know what I'm saying. But they had on jeans, and you know what I'm saying, the baggy clothes, and nowadays it just seems like, fuck, whoever came out with spandex, man. Like I blame a lot of
man.
the
You fucked us.
or the whatever the new stuff that women be wearing, them spandex pants that they be wearing, whatever they're called. Whoever invented that shit, man.
How the fuck does this have anything to do with Star Wars, Kyle? God damn it.
But they need to be sued for like 50% of all fucking divorces.
You're liable.
That should change the game. Like skin tight ass clothes. Like Jesus Christ. Women walking around with their camel toe hanging out all the time. Like, what the hell? You know, that shit is crazy. Like, you just be walking through Walmart. They just be right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jesus Christ, I can see you.
Porn. Everywhere. Porn.
It's the Force. The Force did it. Thank you, Nielsen. Says, great show of Star Wars fans who want to increase their knowledge and discuss everything Star Wars. I think we discuss a lot more things than Star Wars on this show, but thank you, Nielsen, man. We really appreciate that for the super chat. Yeah, I don't, you know, but I think Star Wars plays a role in that, you know what I'm saying, in the overall, you know, just the way the world is. You got to think, man, even in like, how many women dress up in cosplay as Leia? It's like slave Leia. You know what I'm saying? And nowadays, there's women out there with extremely bodacious bodies that are dressing up in that. You know, like, it plays a part. That attractiveness and that, you know what I'm saying, that seductiveness, it plays a part. It does. Star Wars, like, people do not understand how much Star Wars impacts. And the things that Star Wars does impacts the world. Come on, like, if you really think about it and you really break down, like, independence, rebellion, what do you think wokeness is? You know, it's independence and rebellion. You know what I'm saying?
So Star Wars started wokeness.
No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying it applies to it. You know what I'm saying? It's part of it.
Yeah.
It definitely applies. Everything that comes out in Star Wars, if you look into the world, you will see how it has impacted some parts of, you know, almost everything that has to do with it. And people don't even know it. And then you got to think about it like this. So you got people that go to colleges. Okay, you got these young people that go to college, and then these woke doctrines is projected to them by people that, like, their professor. Guarantee that professor's a Star Wars fan. You know what I'm saying? And he projects that wokeness into them, and then they go out into the real world, and then they do it. And then that becomes the writers at Disney. That becomes that editor at Disney. That becomes that director at Disney. You know what I'm saying? It's the reality of it. And it's not just Star Wars, it's in everything, you know what I'm saying? And that's how things get changed. It's all about, you know what I'm saying, wokeness is something just like anything else. It's taught. It's not something you just woke up one day and you was like, oh, I'm woke today. No, it's something that's taught. And wokeness has positive impacts too, you know, especially on racism and you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. But some of it, they just take way too far. You know, like, I don't care what a person does, do what you do. But you know what I'm saying? When you take that to the point where you're trying to tell me what I do, what I can do, because it goes against what you can do, basically you're trying to raise an empire. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to just change everybody's mind to your doctrine or what you think, your opinion. And that's not right. And then now then it comes the second rebellion, you know what I'm saying? The secondary rebellion. Look how Star Wars played out. George Lucas and was just predicting things that was going to happen way before they were happening. That's all it was. I think he knew how the world was going. I think he had a good insight on it. He looked at past. He knows how things circle back around. He knows how things. He knew how things. He was a history buff, and he just put all the stuff that he knew was going to happen later on in the future. I don't think he ever thought it was going to be this bad, but
Right.
you know what I'm saying. But it's just the way it is. Yeah, you got people like Star Wars team leader. You got women, some women that dress up like Hot Solo. Dress up like a hot Han Solo.
What? I haven't
Yes.
seen that.
Yeah, look on Instagram, man. I'm telling you, there's a lot of it. There's a lot of you be like, who the hell you? Oh, you supposed to be Han Solo? Jesus. Yeah, I think I would take Han Solo on. You know what I'm saying? And it's nothing against women. I think women should be able to dress the way they want to. If you want to come outside butt ass naked, well, I think people should be able to do whatever the fuck they want to do. If you want to do that, you should be able to do it. I don't think there should be now. Like, I believe in laws, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just go out here and kill people, and I think they need to get, like, if you're a drug dealer, I think they should just ship your ass out of the country. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't even be here. You're putting shit on the street that just ruins people's lives. You know what I'm saying? Like fentanyl. Like, if you get caught selling fentanyl, you just automatically, you don't even waste money sending them to prison. You know, just ship their ass out the country. Ship them to fucking Russia or some shit. Go over there. They're going to kill your ass anyway. You know what I'm saying? But
I saw a funny picture. The girl dressed up as Han Solo and the guy dressed up as Slave Leia.
he got on black sandals.
I don't know.
I thought you just said you seen the picture. Cause I think I seen that picture and he had on some like black flip flops or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just the world it is, and I think that has some. No,
Hera
Lenny.
got the badonkadonk.
Lenny,
Dude,
come
I
on
don't
there.
think Hera. Bro, I was expecting Hera to be way more attractive than she ended up being.
And like, dude, I don't like. What is your like, Lenny? Like, seriously, what is your like? What do you believe?
What do you
A
what?
badunkadunk is? Because like I need to know because like Beyonce has a badunkadunk. You know what I'm saying? Fucking like. There's women out there with ass for reals. Like if you could set a beer on her ass and she could walk around and it wouldn't fall off, that's ass. Hera don't have no ass. Not compared to the ass that's out there nowadays. Like she's got a little
ass. She's got ass.
Yeah, but it's not like that. That's like normal people ass. That was like ass of the 2000s. Women nowadays have fucking ass. Like for the reals ass. Like Kim Kardashian has ass. That's ass. That's like, oh my God, that shit's sticking out there like a half a foot. It's like a 6-inch butt
fake
cheek.
is what it is.
You know what I'm saying? But like, I still give it to her. Don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? But I'd have to take that makeup off because I don't know, man. They just didn't do a good job
The
on her
makeup
makeup.
doesn't look that good, yeah.
Like they've done way like, I don't know. I think she's too attractive to be Hera. Like Hera had more of. What made Hera attractive was not the way she looked in Rebels, was the attitude, the way that she acted in Rebels that made her really attractive.
She doesn't look like Hera to me. Like
Yeah, it doesn't resemble like, I don't know.
Yeah, not the greatest. Cast.
Lenny says, "Hey, I'm from the north. There ain't much ass up here." Well, I'm in fucking Missouri, and everywhere you go, there's fucking ass. Like women that shouldn't even have asses, like Oriental women. You know, most Oriental women.
Oh my God, Kyle, you're gonna get canceled, bro.
I mean, that's the reality of it. I mean, there's some out there, but there's not that many. Here, they're like every fucking where. Every Oriental woman you see got giant ass. Like, where the fuck is it at? Do you guys put something in the water here? Jesus Christ. Why does every woman in the state have a giant ass? Like, everywhere I go, it's just ass everywhere. Like, it's just weird. And being from Denver, you don't see it like that neither. You see a mixture of everything in Denver. Like in Denver, it's just a mixture of everything. You see women with ass, women without ass, you know, women with middle ass. Here, it's like everybody got the ass here. Like, what the hell is it like? There's some, like, what do they put in the water here? There's something different. Because this is a lot of it.
How many
But
plastic
I
surgery
wouldn't mind
plates
seeing more ass in Star Wars, you know what I'm saying? But I just don't think that it wouldn't fit Darth Talent and it wouldn't fit her abilities. Because she's very acrobatic. She's very, you know what I'm saying, fit. She's very attractive, but at the same time, she's more bustrious than, you know what I'm saying, backside-wise. When you could give her a little bit, but you can't make her too attractive because then that's exactly the reason that...
No, she's natural squat ass, not plastic surgery ass.
Yeah, not... I got half the fat out my legs shoved in my ass fat, because I think a lot of these women do that shit, but I heard that shit is expensive. And then I was actually reading a thing. No, I was watching it on TV. My wife was watching it. There was this chick. I wanted, because my wife watches all them fucking Love and Hip Hop and Love in South Carolina and all that stupid shit. But there was this chick, man, and her whole butt cheek turned around.
What?
Yeah, so like one of her butt cheeks was like nice and round, and the other one was like, because they had flipped around in there, like the silicone or whatever they put in there had flipped around,
like implant,
and it was facing the wrong direction. So like the flat part that was supposed to be inside was on the outside. All that shit. I was like, dude. And she went to like somewhere like Brazil and got it done, and it was like fucking some outrageous fucking number for that shit. And now she had to get it taken out. Like, you've been walking around with this giant ass for fucking like 10 years, and now you got to get your ass took out. I mean, look, fucking Jennifer Lopez did it. Because Jennifer Lopez's ass is nowhere close as big as it was. So it's like proven. But Jennifer Lopez can do that shit. She's already fucking rich and famous as shit. She can do shit like that. Normal women that ain't got a fucking super rich and famous can't do that shit, because everybody's going to be like, what the fuck happened to your ass? That shit was fake. Fake ass bitch. You know what I'm saying?
That just shows like beauty standards, bro.
Dude, it's crazy the way the world is. You know what I'm saying? Like, dudes is getting freaking weenie implants and shit. Like, dude, you're not cutting on me. I don't give a shit. My shit could be an inch long. You're not cutting my shit up. You know what I'm saying? To make it bigger. I'll deal with it. Shit. Fuck, I'll figure something out better. You learn how to eat pussy better. Shit. Do something. You know what I'm saying?
You better learn how to eat pussy.
Like, you ain't cutting me shit. Like, and that shit is crazy, man. They're just, but see, oh man, did you hear that shit? They was talking about that shit on Joe Rogan. I guess fucking Elon Musk, the fucking the fucking interface, the brain interface. I guess they got somebody that's gonna try the first time.
Really?
The Neuralink interface that you put in your fucking brain so you can fucking like
That's
dude,
sketchy.
we're
That's
about to be
sketchy.
fucking robots. We're about to be robots here pretty
I don't know
soon.
if I'm brave enough to try that.
We're gonna be cyborgs. We're gonna be we're gonna be freaking.
Star Wars.
We're all
in real
gonna look
life.
like General Grievous here by the end of this shit. Just have a heart and a brain, and the whole rest of our body's gonna be fucking robots.
Live forever.
Like, that's some scary shit. They was talking about that shit yesterday.
That's wild, bro.
Lenny said, "Oh, by the way, my Facebook got hacked, and I'm pretty sure we do everything through Instagram, but if you get anything from me asking for money, it's not me. Just wanted to let y'all know." Man, I'm sorry, bro. That shit's terrible. I remember when Sway got hacked. It took Instagram forever to get my shit fixed.
I've
Cyborgs.
never been hacked.
Hank Hill
Cyborgs.
started the booty implant. Remember the episode where he had to get the butt pads on
What's
King of the
up?
Hill? On King of the Hill?
Oh yeah. Dude,
He had to get the
damn,
he
I
had to
haven't
get the
seen King
butt
of the Hill in
the,
forever.
Dude, I don't know, I've been on this Rick and Morty fucking shit. I've been watching Rick and Morty like a
I watch Rick and
motherfucker.
Morty a lot now.
Dude, now that I can just stream that shit. Yeah, I like it. I don't know. Rick's an asshole. And Morty just be getting fucked up like all the time.
I fucking love Rick and Morty, bro.
That shit is so funny. I've been watching a lot of Rick and Morty and a lot of Family Guy. I don't know why. I just been on that shit lately. Like, every night I go to bed to Rick and Morty. Like, I put Rick and Morty on and go to sleep.
Jeez, Rick.
Yeah, so he could ride in the little lawnmower race. Yep, Lenny. He had to ride in. He had to get the butt pad so he could ride in the lawnmower race. That shit was hilarious.
Jeez.
He's all sweating by the end of it, like, oh, my butt's hurting so bad. Hey, shit, driving all the time sucks. Driving all the time suck, and I ain't got no ass. Oh, that shit is terrible. Well, that's all I've been doing at work is driving. Oh, that shit is fucking terrible.
Driving is terrible?
Yeah, driving a fucking truck all damn day. A fucking trash truck all day. That shit is fucking terrible. That shit don't have no shocks on it. It's just bouncing. And then you're on this fucking seat, and you know what I'm saying? You're sliding in and out of the truck all the time, and fuck, man, that shit's terrible. And I have no ass whatsoever. No ass at all. It's like my shoulders just stick out farther than my ass does. I just wasn't blessed. We got Lichalon Graham is in the building. What's going on, sir? Thanks for tuning in. We're just talking about random shit. We talked about Stormtroopers and just the Empire just sucks and just didn't want to put out no money. I think that's the conclusion we came up to. They just didn't want to put out no money. Because you can't really say it's just the Stormtrooper helmets because the other people that had other helmets on just sucked. So it just basically goes down to no training and no money. Just garbage. And we know that the armor is garbage because shit, they could get hit by a rock and die, as we seen in the fucking Return of the Jedi. Them motherfuckers throwing rocks at them and killing them. Like, dude, you got no armor. This armor is worthless.
We're watching that tomorrow, yeah?
Yep, we're watching Return of the Jedi tomorrow. So everybody don't forget, same time tomorrow, 11:30. We are watching Return of the Jedi. So come to the pregame show so you know how to get there if you haven't ever joined us. But I think everybody, Liam hasn't ever joined us, so I can't remember. I know Star Wars team leader's been there. Nielsen, did you get a chance to join us last time? I think Nielsen was there last time, infected. I can't remember who was all joined us, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. We just sat back, all watch it together and talk crazy and, you know what I'm saying, have a good time. Had popcorn last time. It was great. We're going through all the movies, though.
Yeah, we're almost done with all the good ones. Then we got the sequels.
Yeah, the sequels is going to be fun. That's going to be the best one, watching the sequels.
We're going to just...
What time, Lenny? Yeah. It's the same time as today. So 11:30. It's 11:30 Central time. It's 11:30 my time. So just 12:30 p.m. on Eastern time, and then just go back an hour or go forward an hour, or is it back an hour? Go back an hour. Yeah, it's an hour difference. So 10:30 Mountain Time, 9:30 Pacific time. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. I enjoy doing them. I think that's one of my favorite things is when we just do that. And the way you haven't joined Nielsen? Oh. So basically, we don't do it on YouTube. Just let me explain it. We don't do it on YouTube. We do it on a private server, so we can watch it all together. Because if we don't, then we'll get kicked off of YouTube. We'll be 5 minutes in, they'll be like, boop. Probably wouldn't even get 5 minutes. They'll boot us off. So we do it under a private server, and we all just watch together. And it has the chat and everything. It's just like watching it like you are now. You just got to go through a different link. And I'll put that link in the thing. We usually come on about 11. Or 11:15 and do like a pre-show, and that way we just explain it to everybody, and then, but yeah, Nielsen, Lenny said what time? Nielsen said he hasn't joined yet, so it'll be, we do it at 11:30, but we usually do the pre-show about 15 minutes before, 11:15 is when we start the pre-show, and we do the pre-show is on YouTube, and that's how we tell everybody how to get over there. It's all right, Lenny. Put it on your phone. Put it in your ear. Like on that one, I don't think you have to have the video playing. No, you do. You do. Never mind. Don't say that. Because if you clicked off on the phone, it'll cancel the stream. It'll turn off the StreamYard link. All right, we got some news. I know I got some news.
Yeah, let's do some news. Let's do some news. I like it. Let me hit the brain.
This is Alton Castle for the only news you need, the HoloNet News.
Okay, so what do we got for news? One of the things I want to talk about is, and I don't know if anybody's seen this, but I guess George Lucas in an interview with Empire Magazine via the Collider, executive producer Jon Favreau revealed that George Lucas was present during the first filming day of Ahsoka and gave his full support. And
what does full support mean? Does that mean like full support?
I wonder if he
like
read the script.
You did a great job, or
it doesn't,
like
it doesn't really say too much. Let me go into the actual thing. I read through the thing, but it didn't say too much.
Full support, like I support you doing this. Full support. I think you're doing a great job. Like that could mean
and
a
gave
couple
his full
things.
support to Dave Filoni and his team while also joking around. George comes in and he's like a martial arts teacher. How many setups did you get? You're not shooting fast enough. He would give Dave a hard time in a very playful and caring way. He has nothing but tremendous care and respect for Dave. You know what I'm saying? Basic stuff. Like, he doesn't really say to, like, whether or not he, like, liked it or, like, which he probably won't say anything until after it's done, because that's kind of how he did it on the first season of Mandalorian. He came in afterwards and said it was pretty good. Y'all did a good job. So we'll have to kind of wait until the end of that to see exactly what was said. And then the Hasbro thing. Hasbro did put pictures up on their website of I don't know if it was on Instagram. I didn't check the Instagram. I checked on their website of Balin and Shin for their Black Series figure, and they look pretty dope. They're from the pictures I've seen, they look pretty dope. And then I know you had something about some stuff.
Yeah, flipping actual news about the Eclipse game, which we haven't heard about it in fucking years.
Oh, no, they put out something a couple weeks ago because we talked about it on the show.
Oh, that's true. We did. That's true.
Yeah.
Well, bro, they announced this shit in 2021, and it's 2023, the end of 2023, and we're still waiting on this game. So I don't know.
I think they already got it done, or they're not ever coming out.
They're just fucking with us. But anyways, the developers, Quantic Dream, they said this is going to be like very strong storyline. But one of the weird things is like, no matter what happens in the game, like if you kill someone, like someone died, like the game will keep going. So apparently there's a bunch of different options to how this game will end. Very branching kind of storyline, which could lend to like some replayability. But yeah, they said no matter what characters die, like the storyline will keep continuing and changing. So I don't know. I guess that's kind of cool. Like your decisions and what you do in the game will have an impact, and the storyline will just keep continuing. So I mean, that's cool. So
it could be like you could just keep playing it. You could just keep playing it and just keep, because it would. So basically, it's like a fake game. You know what I'm saying? Where you know what I'm saying. Like, it just depends on who you kill. If you kill the wrong person, it changes the whole outcome of the game. So kind of like a what-if scenario for a whole game. Like, what if this happens? So if I kill this person, it changes the outcome of how everything else happens, so it's going to change the storyline. How the hell are they going to do that? You know how much damn, like, that's a lot.
I just think it's going to be interesting because, like, Quantic Dream, like the studio, is normally, like, they normally do a lot of like very narrative based games. So they're very rich story. And they said this is going to be an action game that Quantic makes. So it's going to be an action game that still has a very strong story, apparently. And the story is going to be a big part of the game.
And then the story can change depending on the things that you do. That's going to be interesting. I can't wait to watch some people play it online, because I'm not going to play. Y'all will never see me again.
I'll never see you again.
Guillermo del Toro confirmed a shell Star Wars film that was written by David Goyer. So I guess there was a movie that was supposed to be made, and it was written, and Guillermo del Toro was going to do it, and then for some reason it got shelved. Which is kind of cool. You know what I'm saying? At least we know people are out there making... You know what I'm saying? Writing movies. Now, just because they're being written doesn't necessarily mean that they're being made, as we see. But at least people are out there, you know, putting in putting in the work, trying to come up with interesting Star Wars stuff. I would I'd love to see Del Toro was a good director. You know what I'm saying? So to see the type of movie, it was probably way too gruesome. And Disney was like, we ain't doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like freaking Sith cutting off people's heads and shit and dismembering people and all kind of fucked up weird shit. That's the type of movies Del Toro does. Come on. That's just, that's the shit that he does. So, just to imagine. And why are people still talking about this, man? This is something
still talking about
what? People defending Lucas's vision for the prequels. The prequels was freaking amazing. What the hell are you talking about? Well, why you ain't got to defend amazingness? What is there to defend? That shit was great. You know what I'm saying? Like, I fucking love the sequel trilogy. I mean, the prequel trilogy. I almost went to hell. I just said blasphemy. No, but the prequel trilogy, which I know a lot of people, and I'm an original trilogy guy. That's the era I grew up in. But when the prequels came out, I don't know if I was just so waiting for more Star Wars. When I seen it, it blew me away. You know what I'm saying? Even though there was some things that was wrong with it, like how did they get more technology and better advanced and shit? I asked that question like looks way better, but it was filmed afterwards, so it's supposed to look better. And that's the only thing I had. There wasn't really that much news. A lot of Ahsoka stuff. A lot of people talking about Ahsoka.
We had the Rosario Dawson's stunt coordinator, her trainer for like the sword fighting. She talked about how it's kind of difficult to train her because she says Rosario Dawson's very coordinated, she's very flexible, and she works very hard. But the challenge is she's also very busy. She never has any break. And so it seems like maybe that's why her lightsaber skills aren't like what we're used to, because she's busy. She doesn't have a whole lot of training.
I didn't ever have that expectation of her. Like, I knew that it wasn't going to be fucking... Yeah. It's kind of... And I think a lot of people put a lot more emphasis on it because how good Ahsoka was in the Clone Wars and in Rebels. But that's a cartoon. You can make that shit do anything. It's hard to get a person to be able to do some of the things that Ahsoka did in the cartoon where you're just drawing this shit. You could draw her to do anything or, computerize her to do anything. It's hard to do that in real life. You can't have her do a triple, quadruple backflip. She's not, what I'm saying? Yeah. This is Rosario Dawson. This is not, Olympic fucking gymnast.
Right. And apparently they're trying to make it realistic while also making it like interesting. And realistic fights aren't necessarily the most like fun to watch. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, even watching some of the old like if you go back to like the old samurai movies and stuff like that, like not all of the fights was good. Like if a dude wasn't that good fighting against another dude that wasn't that good,
it was over pretty quick. Yeah,
it was. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that great. So, when you had two masters going at it, yeah, they did it. I just think they should have speeded it up a little bit more because you put one speed it up 1% and it just makes it look a lot. You don't have to go outrageous with it, but it just makes it look more fluent. Some of the movements wasn't very fluent, but that's been within all the Star. But we also have high expectations too with the cartoons and then with how good Anakin. Dude, I can't. Dude, the Anakin Obi-Wan fucking duel, and that's probably one of the best fucking sword fighting scenes in history. You can't find a flaw with that motherfucker. I've watched it so many times. I looked for the flaws. There's no flaws in that shit. It's just fucking done so good. But they had so much more time to prepare for that shit. And they were both fucking in physical peak health. You know what I'm saying? I know neither one of them could do that shit now. You know what I'm saying? They're 50 years old. You know what I'm saying? So, but and I think a lot of times as fans, we look at that as like every lightsaber duel should be that good, and it's just not going to be that good. They're not the same characters. They have limited time. They're doing it for a TV series where they got to get ready to film the next part, and you know what I'm saying? It's just a lot more details to it. That's why I haven't really put down the lightsaber duels that much.
I don't know, but for me, like I get it. I get all the real requirements, but at the same time, like when you're on the standard of like the sequels with Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor, it's like that's the standard of Star Wars that we've had. So it's like,
but I mean, it's like even if you go back and watch like the Dooku fight with them, even the Dooku fight with Anakin, it wasn't as good as Anakin and Obi-Wan's. They practiced that shit for a long time. They had that shit down.
Oh yeah.
And that's why I can't, like, I really try not to sit back and put down the light. Now, the Sabine lightsaber parts, I think, I don't know, like you said before, they're kind of wonky, but you're in the same position. They're rushing to get this stuff done. They was going through COVID. Right. You know what I'm saying? There's just a lot of different things. Like, but I still think that they could, you know, and this goes on the editor's fault. He should have speeded it up just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because it would have made it look better. Now, I think that's against the editor.
Think that's a solid solution. Like you can,
you know what I'm saying? Just speed it up just a little bit. You ain't got to do it to make it look like fucking,
up a little bit.
Like the old samurai movies where you knew that shit was speed up. There ain't no fucking way in hell a person can move that fucking fast. You ain't got to do it like that. But just, you know, a couple notches. I mean, they do it anyway. I know they speeded it up some because they do that anyway. But they could have done it just a little bit more and made it look a little bit better, I think. But, you know, it all is due to where Dave says, okay, that's enough. Because they speed it up because they don't do that shit in full speed. When you're directing like that, you don't ever do it at full speed. You're doing it at like 75% speed. The actors are, because they don't want to hurt each other. You know, you don't want to smack somebody in the face with this stick. You know what I'm saying? I know you practice a lot, but people are you know, people make mistakes, and you know, you did something wrong or you mismoved or somebody didn't get their block around fast enough, so they don't go at full speed and they speed it up anyway. I just think they could have pushed it just a little bit more. Right. But you know what I'm saying, it's up to the director to make that call in the final end, and you know, Dave thought it was good enough, so that's where he left it at. And I mean, like I said, none of them are terrible. They're just not. I just think as Star Wars fan, we have such a high standard. Right. Yeah, we have a very high standard when it comes to lightsaber duels, and I don't think it's going to be a while before we get somebody in there that can beat Hayden and Ewing in the way that they did it in Revenge of the Sith. I mean, that shit was just fucking. I mean, even in the sequel trilogy, I mean, it was just the lightsaber dueling was just very, very wonky. It wasn't that good. You know what I'm saying? But you got actors that's never, and you got to understand too, with Rosario Dawson and with Lodane, or however you say her name, Sabine's character, you know, this is the first time that they've ever really done this type of role, you know, to have to, you know, fight with swords. Or at least Rosario Dawson. So, you know what I'm saying? That makes a big difference because you're learning a whole new technique, you know. It's not like they're coming in like freaking, you know, John Wick, you know what I'm saying? You know, why can't I think of his fucking name right now? My brain is blanking. Keanu Reeves, you know what I'm saying? It's had a lot of movies like that with a lot of technical training and does a lot of training. Even in his off times, that's going to be able to pull off some of those moves and be able to do some of the stuff that he can do. A lot of that is, you know, real tactical training that he's taking. I mean, he's fluent in Aikido and Jiu-Jitsu, and, you know, he's done training. So, you know, he's going to come in and be able to do a lot more things than somebody that's never done anything like that before at all. There's just a lot of things that go into it. That's why I haven't been... I was more excited about the spark back in the damn lightsabers than, you know what I'm saying, than their actual movements, because I appreciate it. They didn't have it in the sequel. They didn't have it in the prequel trilogy. They took it out, and we haven't had it since the original trilogy, and for them to put it back in, I was super excited about that. So it kind of made me not pay attention as much to the actual lightsaber duel itself. And plus, I try to have a lower expectation because I know that they can't beat what cartoons do and what, you know, Hayden and Ewing did. So, I don't know. That's why I stand on it.
That's all the news I had.
That's all the news you had? Yeah, I didn't see too much. NSYNC, they keep talking about, I have a feeling they're bringing NSYNC. Because we all know this, it's been around. NSYNC was supposed to be in. NSYNC was supposed to be in the Clone Wars, and I think at one point they were supposed to be in the sequel trilogy. The group NSYNC.
Oh, NSYNC, like the band.
Yeah, and
Okay.
now they're talking about it again, like a lot. Like there's like 15 different, like the Rap has something on it, Hollywood Reporter has something on it, Dateline has something on it, Variety has something on it, IndieWire has something on it. Like a lot of people are talking about it, so I have a feeling that they're going to pop up in damn Star Wars, especially because they just did their reunion tour. You know what I'm saying? Or a reunion song or something. I have a feeling that we're going to see members of NSYNC in Star Wars. Like, and I don't know why, but I guess so. If that's what you want to do, I mean, shit, you're Disney, you can do that.
I guess. Yeah.
See Justin Timberlake as a Jedi, you know what I'm saying? Some bounty hunter. Okay, whatever you guys want to do. But that was the only things that I have. Oh, and then did I say something about the EMT killer was insisted he was at home watching Star Wars during the random stabbing?
What?
The dude, Peter Zamalo, the EMT killer. The one that they're prosecuting or he's in trial right now for he said he was at home watching Star Wars.
Watching Star Wars. That's an excuse right there. Good man.
Yeah, I was at home watching Star Wars. There ain't no way I could have killed all these people. You know, there ain't no way I could have stabbed anybody.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I was at home watching Star Wars. You know what I'm saying? That's what people do.
You know how you catch him. You ask him, what Star Wars were you watching? If he says it's the sequel, he's a liar. He's the killer. It's him. He did it.
Lenny says the Cantina singer. Is that who the guy is? I don't know. Anyway, but
do we have a quiz today?
Yeah, we have a quiz. I always have a quiz.
Let's do it.
Well, at least most of the time I have a quiz. I ain't gonna say always. I gotta stop using that word always because I haven't always had a quiz.
All right.
Stop right there, you rebel scum. Prepare yourself for the Star Wars Impossible quiz. Blast them.
Okay, are you ready? Are y'all ready? Oh.
I'm not, but I'm going to try.
All right. Question number 1. Who were the top 3 corporate contributors to the separatist war effort?
Oh, shit. Is the Trade Federation one, or is that like...
Yep, Trade Federation is one.
Trade Federation. Oh, I'm not supposed to say anything, huh?
So y'all got the first part of the answer. Garrison gave up the first part of the answer.
I think I can know the. If you give me a second.
Quit looking shit up.
I'm not.
Yeah, I don't believe you. I think you'd be cheating. Cheater. Peter Eater.
I'm not looking anything up.
All right, go for it.
Okay, so I'm Trade Federation. It's the Techno Union, right?
That's 2.
I don't know the last one.
All right, it's the Confederacy of Independent Systems. The Confederacy of Independent Systems.
So those are the
third one. Yeah.
God damn it. Okay. See, I got 2/3.
Okay. Question number 2. Who led the coup to arrest the treasonous Jedi Pong Krell?
Say one more time.
Who led the fucking group to arrest the treasonous Jedi Pong Krell?
Who is the group?
Yeah, who led it?
Oh. God damn. I don't remember what his name is.
Trade, banking, and separatists. No.
I don't remember
The Trade Federation, yes. The banking clan. I think the banking clan was just making money off the separatists and the Republic. I don't think they really led it. But it's actually the answer is Confederation of Independent Systems, Techno Union, and the Trade Federation. They the one that was forking the money up.
Was it Captain Rex?
Yep.
Okay. I was like, I don't know if it was a specific guy. I'm just gonna guess Rex and hope it's right.
It was Rex.
Cool. All right.
What was the highest ranking a clone could have in the clone army of the Republic? What was the highest ranking that they could get?
Huh.
Don't say nothing yet. Let everybody else get it. Go come in.
In the army or like
in just the entire thing. What was the highest ranking that they could get? In
highest
well, it
ranking
says the
clone to
Army
get.
of the Republic, so I don't know if it. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Right.
know if it was. You know what I'm saying? Like Army, Navy. You know what I'm saying? If they had different rankings or because it just says the Army of the Republic. Captain. Lenny says captain. Come on, guys. No, Lenny, you're wrong. It's not captain.
No, I feel like it's I have an idea of what I think, but
LO, no clue, but had to be Q clone.
a Q clone.
I don't know what a Q clone is. Okay, y'all ready? Y'all ready?
Is it? Hold on, I didn't get a chance.
Okay, guess.
Commander, right? Like Commander Cody. It's like
Commander is the highest ranking because after Commander, all the generals was Jedis. Who said the Commerce Guilds are preparing for war? There can be no doubt of that.
Oh shit!
The Commerce Guild are preparing for war. There can be no doubt of that. Who said that?
I don't know. God damn it! I'm literally picturing it. I don't know. I think I know, actually. I'm gonna wait until some of them guess, but I think I have the answer.
Think?
I could be totally off though.
She's Palpatine. Nope.
It wasn't Palpatine.
Nope. It wasn't Palpatine.
Oh, it's this one.
I was just calling out a name. It was Darth Sidious. He said it in the Empire days after everything was already over.
Was it
All right, go for it.
Keanu Mundi? No? Damn it. Fuck.
Nope.
Was it the
Yoda?
Chancellor's
Nope.
friend with all the blue shit? No,
Nope.
whatever. Who is it?
Come on, guys, guess some more. Come on, Lenny. Y'all know this. Star Wars team leader, you know this. Actually, I try to do these ones easier. And so far, you've been pretty good. You got 2 out of 3. You got Rex. You got Commander. Come on, guys. Come on. All right. Dun, dun,
Wait.
dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
Is it Organa?
Yep, it was Bill Organa. You looked that shit up, motherfucker.
Get the fuck out of here. No, I didn't.
I heard your keys typing.
I didn't. What?
Okay, here's an easier one. What is the name of General Grievous' super weapon battle cruiser?
Oh, fucking.
And I think I asked this once before, but I couldn't remember.
You did.
And I didn't want to go back to it. And I didn't want to go back
No. It's
to it
some
and double
badass
check
name.
on.
It's some badass name. I know that.
Come on.
Damn.
Come on, guys. I know y'all know this one.
It's some badass name, dude. I don't remember.
Viznar. No, it's not Viznar.
Is it his fighter or his like destroyer?
His big ass destroyer. What is the name of General Grievous's super weapon battle cruiser?
Yeah, I don't know.
Dun 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 dun. I
get it.
It was the malevolence.
That's what I knew. It was some like stupid Damn it! All right.
The ion cannon shit, but it was called and Star Wars team like it was the ion cannon, but it was the name of it was Malevolence. Okay, how long did the Clone Wars last?
10 years.
No.
No, it wasn't that long. Was it 5 years?
No.
Really?
Nope.
7.
You're just gonna sit there and guess every number?
I don't know. It's between 5 and 10.
17 years. Nope.
It's between 5 and 10, though, right?
Nope.
Really?
Nope.
Less or more?
I'm not telling you that.
God damn.
I'm giving you the answer. Dun 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 dun. 3 years.
I feel like I've reached my guess. 3 years, really?
Yeah, from the Battle of Geonosis to when it started to when Palpatine had the droid shut down were 3 years.
Quick war. Well, not quick. I guess 3 years is a long time. Fucking, why did I think it was longer?
I don't know, because that movie was long. I don't know. Then we had 7 seasons of the Clone Wars. Who lost the 3-year battle known as the Clone Wars?
Everybody?
That's the right answer. Everybody lost. Both sides lost.
Oh, really?
Yeah, both sides lost. The Separatists lost, and they actually lost the war, and then the Republic lost because they turned it into the Empire. So technically, both sides lost. Who said, "I will rest when all the Jedi are dead"?
That's a great question that I don't know. Darth Maul.
Nope.
Yeah, I didn't.
Darth Maul didn't give a shit about the rest of the Jedi. He only wanted to kill Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Cut down, me!
Lenny, yep, right. Everybody. Lenny was right.
Oh, I thought you meant everybody said that.
Well, you don't know how long, because see, that's the fucked up thing about this damn fucking, because we'll say something like, because I've checked it out, it's almost like a fucking minute.
It's kind of, well, I think it's back and forth. Sometimes it's longer than others.
Yeah, it just fluctuates on the fucking internet speed or some shit, so it's fucked up, man. I wish that shit was real, like they say, oh, real-time streaming. It's not real-time. If it was real-time, everybody would hear everything at the exact same fucking time.
Star Wars
I wonder how long it is. I'm gonna ask this question. Anybody that watches the show that's in Europe, leave a comment and tell me how long after I say something did it actually when you get it. Like I don't even know how we would figure that out. How can we figure that out?
No,
I know I watched it on my phone and it's like a minute.
Here. All right, listen. Star Wars team leader said Greaves, Lenny said Vader. Are either one of those right?
Yep, Star Wars team leader got it right.
Oh, Greaves. All right, Star Wars team leader.
Grievous. Well, you meant General Grievous, right?
I actually do want to test this. Hey, if you're listening, comment the number 7. Just put 7 in the chat. I want to see how long it takes. Not still. Wow. It is. You're right.
Well, he was probably typing yes, so it probably took him longer to get that.
No, he said yes. I'm saying 7. Anybody.
Yeah, somebody just type 7. Whenever you hear the number 7.
There it is. Yeah. There it is. All right.
Yeah,
so it's like
30. That's about a minute. 30 seconds to a minute. It takes for them to be able to get what we say. That's why I'll be like, you got to hold up and wait. Whose job is it to manage it? And see, it even took longer for Lenny to put it in there. So it just depends. You know what I'm saying? It depends on what part of the country you're in or how good your internet. Like, that shit is not real time. I mean, I guess it's the closest thing you can get to real time, but it's still not real time. Whose job is it to manage a star system of the Empire?
Whose job is it? To manage a star system.
Yep.
The general manager.
The general manager. Assistant to the general manager? Yeah. Whose job is it to manage a star system of the Empire?
Moth. Yeah,
What'd you
like an
say?
admiral. I'd assume he said Moth, but I'd say like an admiral. Yeah.
Moff is who it is. Star Wars team leader got it. It's a Moff. The Moff is the governor over a star system. So each star system has a Moff.
Moth
within the
or
gov-
Moth?
It's Moff, but I mean,
MOF, right?
yeah, it's MOFF, Moffs. Okay, question 10, last question. Who is second in command of the Imperial hierarchy?
Assistant to the regional manager. Okay.
Who is second in command of the Imperial hierarchy?
Okay, so
we know that the Emperor's the
yeah,
commander.
Emperor's number one.
Number
I'd
one.
probably say
Who's second in
Tarkin.
command?
Tarkin?
Nope.
Really? Darth Vader?
Nope.
Really? No, not Tarkin or Vader.
Tarkin's a Grand Moff, so he's over all the other Moffs, and Vader is the Enforcer. That's Palpatine or Sidious's personal enforcer.
The Senate.
Nope.
Who the fuck? Some second in command guy we knew nothing about.
And I'm gonna put this one up on screen.
So we even know what it looks like.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna show you the whole anarchy, the whole hierarchy of the Empire.
Oh, this will be cool. That'll be cool.
No, not slide. I don't have a slide.
Ding, 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 ding,
I can't do video file either, really.
Oh,
Okay, let me do that then. Shit. Like, that way it
man,
gives
I'm
everybody time
hungry.
to put yeah, me too. Okay, let me get this over here. We can somewhat see it. All right. All right. So I thought I could do it a different way, but it won't let me.
So we can't see it?
Oh no, we're gonna be able to see it. I just couldn't do it the way that I wanted to do it. All right, here we go. So you got the Emperor, his advisors, highest ranking bureaucracy, then the Moffs, Grand Moffs, and then I don't know why it's ISB. That's the hierarchy of the Empire. So the advisor is the second in command. The Moffs and the Grand Moff, technically the Grand Moff is higher than the Moffs. Governors and overseers, they're the highest ranking selector governors. But everybody reports to them, to the advisors. And then it goes up to the Emperor. So Emperor makes final choice, but it goes, everything from down here goes up through this and then up to the Emperor. If the Emperor even needs to say anything, the advisors might say, nope, we're not doing that.
That's cool though.
Yeah. I personally thought it was Vader. That's why I had to look up the actual fucking chart. I'm like, dude, it's Vader. Vader's second in command. But no, Vader is not.
I mean, I'm sure people listen to Vader just because, like, I don't know.
Well, what made me think about it is fucking even like Tarkin would tell Vader what to do. So it was like, dude, what the fuck? Like what is Vader really? Vader is he is the personal enforcer of the Emperor. So that's his job. He enforces whatever the Emperor says. But he doesn't really deal in the political fucking components of the Empire. Basically, Palpatine says, go kill everybody. He goes and does it. Go take these people out. Go find Luke Skywalker. Go do this. That. And he goes and does it. But he doesn't really get into he doesn't tell anybody technically what to do. You know what I'm saying? He's not really, that's not what his job is.
Right.
His job is to enforce the will of the Emperor. So anybody fuck up, they got to deal with Vader. You know what I'm saying? And it don't matter if you're an advisory or fucking Tarkin, you're going to fucking deal with Vader if you fuck up. And the Emperor says, go enforce me. This is my rule, go enforce it. That's what he does. But the actual hierarchy of that shit, because I had to look up the chart, because I was like, dude, no, fucking Vader. Because I was like, dude, who the fuck is these people? Like, when I was making the question up, I was looking at it. I was like, dude, fuck this fucking thing. This thing is lying. You know what I'm saying? It's Vader. Vader's second in command, but technically the advisors are, his personal advisors are. All right, guys. So I think that we're about to wrap up today's show. We will be meeting with everybody tomorrow. Same time, 11:30. Well, actually, it'll be about 11:15. In between 11 and 11:15, we usually come on, do the pregame show, the pre-watch party on YouTube. Tell everybody how to get there.
Some snacks.
Another announcement: the website is down, and it's probably going to stay that way for a while. The person I had that was taking care of everything, putting all the news articles and everything on it, they left to go do other things, which I hope everything works out for them. So I'm very happy that they got to move to a way better position than what I was able to offer them, and I'm super excited to see the stuff that they come out with. But it's down, and I'm probably going to be taking over it here soon, but I'm going to redo it. I'm going to redo the entire web page, and I'm not going to use, because we use WordPress, and I'm not fluent with WordPress, really, and there's been a lot of complications. He said it was really hard to keep up with it because there was a lot of complications using WordPress. He basically told me I should have used Wix or, you know, one of the other ones that are just way easier. So probably going to do that. I don't know when it's going to be back up, but I will definitely keep you guys informed. Because there was a lot of news that was going on over there. And I like the fact that a lot of the news that I got for you guys, I got from my own webpage, because he was putting it all up there. And now I can't do that. So it ain't going to be down for very long. But, you know, once again, it's all about timing, you know, or if I can get somebody else to run it and do it for me, which I'm very happy. I mean, he got a great job, man. He got a great job. Like, he's doing some big shit. I'm happy for him. So, but until I can find a replacement, or I can get, you know, I get more time for me to be able to do it, it's going to be down for a little bit. So I just wanted to inform everybody of that. And I think that's about it. You got any announcements? Having a baby or anything yet?
No. Chill.
Oh, I'm jinxing you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to jinx you.
No, I'm just playing with you.
That's the way it's supposed to go. It's supposed to go married, and then children, and then divorce, and then child support.
Chill. What?
I'm joking. I don't want to speak that into reality. That's not going to happen. Y'all are going to be together forever. Y'all love one another.
You're lucky Addison's not watching this episode. You're so lucky. I'm just kidding.
She'll probably be on here. Fuck you, Kyle. No. You know, I hope you guys the best. Huh? And I'm always here to give advice out on being married, because I've been married twice. I know all the things not to do. Like, don't come home and call your wife a bitch every day. It doesn't work out very well. You know what I'm saying? And don't marry a stripper, because it doesn't work out very well. But you know, but and me and my wife now, we've been together for almost 20 years. So married 10, almost 20 years together. So I've been on both sides of the fence. So anybody need any advice on marriage, just I'll give you the best piece of advice now. Just keep your mouth shut. Don't say anything. Regardless, you will lose. So we will see you guys tomorrow. Stay outrageous, and may the force be with you always.
Thank you for tuning in to LSR. If you've enjoyed the show, consider subscribing so you can be notified when new episodes are released. If you would like to be a guest on the show, or just want to give us some feedback, feel free to email us. You can also reach out to us on all major social media platforms. Lightsaber Radio is produced by Pickfilm Media and is a Swaycast original, starring Garrison Turcotte, CJ Elliott, and Kyle McDaniel. And don't forget to join us next time for more adventures in a galaxy far, far away.